You guys, that was supposed to be a very optimistic video and fun one, but then Tommy Robinson had decided to declare war on Israel. Let me share that with you. I think you'd be just as shocked as I am. I'm speechless. I am disappointed. I didn't think he would betray us the way he did right there.
Israel, I am so disappointed. I heard so much about these. A big bag of nothing.
Anti-Semitism. What are you talking about?
They're crap. I haven't even had time to eat today. I've had that busy of a schedule. So at the services, I thought I'd grab a bag of these big peanut flavoured nothing. Now I'm all right making mine.
You know what?
They're terrible. Look, big bag full. See that? Israel.
So that's the situation. This is where we're standing right now. Tommy had officially declared a war on the citizenry of Israel. He had insulted us in the most vile way, and I don't know if we could have ever forgive him. Therefore, I really have to rethink where my stance on it is, rethink who I am, my identity. Everything I thought of about the world is crumbling down fast, and I don't know. Could it be forgiven? Probably not. Anyway, yeah, so that's where we're at. Oh, and fine. You know what? I'm not ready to see things that would shatter my worldview yet. So I will tap into my wokeness and ignore the fact that I saw it and pretend I've never seen it, so that I could keep holding my previously held beliefs and point of view. I shall not include that part. That shocked me. You can do whatever you want with that information, but that's my decision now. All right. So here is a book mouse claiming that everyone has a right to their own taste buds. Absolutely not. Not on this channel. Absolutely not. And if there is anyone here that's watching right now who doesn't like eggplants, then you're welcome to stay. And those who love eggplants and think it is actually food, this is why we have problems in the world. I think, honestly, eggplants are the worst. How can you eat this awfulness? All right, so I think I did watch a couple of videos yesterday with Tommy arriving in Israel, but let's do a little bit of that as well, I guess. Maybe there is someone here who wasn't here yesterday. I mean, there is nothing here, actually. Let me just show you the things we didn't see yet. Which here is number one. First of all, like the video is named. Okay, let me show you what I'm seeing. So training with Israel. Oh no, it says like that there is gonna be no audio, so I need to wait. I need to reload it. 1 second. So here Tommy is admitting, I mean, I think originally I wanted it to be like a loving, yay Tommy kind of video, but now that I saw what he feels about Bamba, I don't know if I can keep that original mood that I had. So here we are seeing that Tommy Robinson is training with Israel's elite counter-terrorist unit. I mean, they went out on a jog. But I think there is a secret message here that also says that he trained with Israel's elite counter-terror unit. And that might indicate that he is willing to fight the establishment that was taken over by the Muslim Brotherhood in the UK. So it's probably gonna get so much trouble when he goes back to Britain, when he's gonna be charged for terrorism charges because he went on a training with a counter-terror unit, which means he's a terrorist. Obviously that would mean he's a terrorist. And if it wasn't like for my Bamba video, I would have said, no, this is not okay, UK. But you know what? If you insult Bamba like that, it's you get what you get. You get what you get.
I was blessed this morning to have the opportunity to train with a special elite unit from Duv Davan. They're a counter-terrorism elite unit within the Israeli army. And yeah, they put me through my paces. I enjoyed it. I'm very grateful to them. I run today with two real heroes. Do you know, in their unit, on October 7th, they were the first on the scene. They lost 4 men. They said in October, they were still battling on October 8th and 9th. And whilst they were losing men, you had people in the West calling for a ceasefire and talking about a genocide. 1,000 Israelis have been butchered, slaughtered. The Israeli army are battling terrorists and jihadists. They haven't started any war. They're fighting to survive. And people in the West, how insulting is that for them? But I heard some amazing stories of courage.
I can't even, can you imagine, there are so many people fighting on the front lines on October 7th. You know how many terrorists broke into Israel? More than, I think, at least 6,000, more than 6,000 terrorists that broke into Israel and people that broke into Israel. It's a full-on army that also did everything possible so that people would not recognize them as the army and a lot of different things anyway. And people in the West just sit there and oh my God, where was the army? Why weren't they fighting? Why didn't they do anything? And I saw that argument by somebody yesterday, and they were supposed to be on the pro-Israel side. This is why, if you guys are in my Discord and my Telegram, I had sent you the document that I've made that exposes the fact that the cognitive abilities of the Western world had been declining, and it was done on purpose because they cannot ask a simple question does it even make sense what I'm just saying, what I'm uttering out of my mouth? Could there be an alternative to the nonsense that is getting coming out of my mind? No, they don't have that ability because it was taken away from them. But honestly, it was taken away from them by a very, very sophisticated campaign and foreign intervention and malignant actors. Anyway, that's the problem that I had sent on the Discord, on the Telegram, a whole document with the description of what's going on.
True heroes.
And how the ability to ask questions was taken away from Westerns.
And it puts it into perspective when you think about what these men are going through. I met a young British lad who I trained with this morning, who's just finished 3 years of service fighting for this elite unit. So, and as we're running along the beach, this is the insanity of it. The leader of a commander group, the leader of the commando group, who lost 100 men, run past and stopped and talked to us. He lost 100 men in this fight against jihad. When you think about the sacrifice and the loss of life and the effect it has.
By the way, today is the Memorial Day in Israel for the October 7th. So today are the official memorial ceremonies and everything. So I feel given the topic, that is also an opportunity to respect that and understand that there was a lot of fighting on the ground that happened immediately.
On every person here. And then you see the way it was treated in the West. It's an absolute insult. Then you think about Keir Starmer. Think about this man who lost 100 men. You think about this other unit who lost 4 of their brothers, fighting against these jihadists. And then you think about Keir Starmer, and you think about the Labour Party, and you think about them recognising and rewarding these jihadists with a Palestinian terrorist state. It's an absolute insult, but I was blessed this morning. I was blessed because it gave me a reset. I haven't trained really for a month. And you just need that break. And I always talk about how important physical exercise is. I feel already better this morning just from that training. So I'm very grateful to the lads from Duv Davan.
I really feel like I should go out and work out right now.
And I said, now that you've released those terrorists, because remember, lots of jihadists have just been released back home, murderers and butchers of children. One man who was released killed 7 Israeli children. So these units now need to go back and get them again. So cheers.
All right. Next. Or I saw this saying, wait here. You're saying, I'm studying Rebecca's document. It's well written, but I question a lot of things, which is what I'm arguing, what it's arguing for. Yeah, go ahead and question it. I don't, like, it's more than welcome, but I also want you to be honest and say if you agree with the main premise or not. I am honestly, like, I'm working on showing the receipts that prove the point that I've made there. There are actually a lot of like real world things that demonstrate it, but yeah, sure. I'd love to hear what you're saying. Okay, so here's the thing, like Tommy Robinson, by actually doing a proper job, shows how awful our mainstream media journalism is. Like, he had went and actually showed the illegal immigration crisis or problems that Israel had, which, by the way, there is a whole history there, which is interesting. But he actually showed the side and talked about it. And there are so many people in the West who are like, oh, why is Israel there? There are no immigrants there. Like, how come it doesn't get rich there? And it's like, those fuckers never bother checking if it reached Israel or not. But thank goodness Tommy Robinson had made it approachable to the general population. But which a lot of people are like, oh, this is the first time I'm saying it. Like, because nobody's thinking anymore. Nobody's thinking. That's what I'm thinking. But anyway, it is a bit depressing because more than anything, I think that in Israel, the judicial system is actually an enemy of the state. And when everybody were, when Iran were sending ballistic missiles to Israel, people were joking, like sending like coordinates to them of things that they want to see a ballistic missile striking. And it was like random jokes about really stupid stuff. It's like, but yeah, I think, but I'll be honest, like I said when Iran was like, oh, we're gonna hit you, I was like, what about the Supreme Court? Can you get them? They're a foreign agent inside of Israel. That's the Supreme Court in Israel. It's a foreign agency. Oh, here, Haaretz News. The headquarters of Haaretz was also another popular suggestion for ballistic missiles. Of course, the way we would convince them is to say, hey, there is a very secretive and very, very secretive, like, intelligence unit in those areas, like Mossad and stuff. You should definitely hit that. And then we like share how its headquarters location and things like that, But it didn't work. They didn't fall for it. I don't know if they aimed at all. Honestly, they just did a random.
It's a pleasure to meet you. How are you? Can we hear your name?
Yeah, my name is Shefi Paz. As I said, I'm the little Tommy of Israel.
The little Tommy of Israel?
Yeah, because whatever happens here is less than what happens in Britain.
So tell me, where are we now?
We're in a place called the Sha'anan. It's the neighborhood, it's the most conquered un-Jewish neighborhood in Israel today.
So it's the most conquered un-Jewish neighborhood. So
Israel today.
Is this a neighborhood that's affected by mass migration?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
in Israel.
The heart of the African immigration.
Okay.
Mostly.
So how do they get here?
So.
What?
They go to Sinai.
They go where?
They go from Sinai.
Okay.
So I don't know if it's clear what she's saying here, but they walk. They walk to Israel. They by foot through the desert. Mark Wade, are you going to meet Tommy and Avi? I met Avi already, but yeah, I hope to meet Tommy next week. Actually, I hope so. I really am watching. I really want to meet him. Unfortunately, like for some reason, like my friends and family had decided that to put all their events on these days now until like Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So I will not be able to, for example, to attend like Tommy's appearance in Tel Aviv and stuff because family stuff. Yeah. So my family is like, testing my how much I like them by making sure I have to stay with family and friends this weekend.
They go to the border, then they sat down, and the army took them in because we're,
Okay.
good people.
And what?
And they took them in, and then they put them on buses and brought them here.
It sounds like Great Britain.
Yeah, the same thing. I mean, they didn't get hotels.
But we hear that this doesn't happen in Israel.
No, it happens in Israel, of course. So they just got here.
There's a lot of security here. There's a lot of security.
It's all for you.
Is that all for me?
Yeah, it's all for you. And as I said before, they are not against you.
No, okay.
They're a little bit against me, but not against you.
Tell us your story. Tell us your story. How did you become an activist? How did you become?
Well, my story. I came to live here in the neighborhood here about 30 years ago. And when they started coming, all the immigrants, so the African immigrants, I became an activist because I saw how my neighborhood is going to ruins. I mean, it was ruined. We lost our Jewish identity, we lost our security, we lost our sense of belonging, we lost everything. So I started, fighting. I started fighting.
So yeah, by the way, she is a lesbian she used to be far left, and then after she had witnessed reality, she switched to being far right, I guess, and she's a lesbian, and it's a funny story. And here's the thing that I wanted to share. So what the immigrants started doing is they would start raping people randomly in the street, and then it became like a whole outrage. And for the most part, like the government managed to wrap most of them up and deported them to third countries. But and they there was a whole legal battle and stuff with the Supreme Court, which are foreign agents that tried to ruin Israel in Israel, that wanted to stop them, but they managed to deport and actually incentivize most of those illegal immigrants to leave. And it was like a real issue for a while. But now the court is doing the shenanigans again that make it really, really hard to deport them again, and so there is more and more taking advantage of that, especially since everybody's kind of busy with a lot of different things that need to be taken care of. Like people here are flooded with things and all fronts to fight on, because there are weapon smugglers in Bedouins, the obviously Arabs, Seven Front War, PR war, and then illegal immigrants, and the foreign entity that is the Supreme Court of Israel, which isn't really I don't know what they're thinking. Everybody hates them. Honestly, they should rethink their ways.
And of course, as everywhere in the world, Britain, Israel, everywhere, they come to the weak and poor neighborhoods, and they win it, and on the other side, all the rich and privileged are for them, right? The same thing?
This sounds so familiar, no?
It's the same.
So the working class
It's
poor
the
areas.
same thing all over the world. The working class is paying the price, the privileged are against the working class. We are being called, of course, all the names that you know.
Are you one of us?
Yeah, and the police, of course, as in your case, the police became against us.
This
And
area,
the graffiti woman.
this area we're in now, is this a high crime area?
It's a what?
Does it have a high crime rate?
Yeah, of course.
Does it have the worst crime rate?
The worst.
This is the worst. So where the migrants have come in.
It's drugs, it's stabbing, it's, gangs, a lot of gangs, the youth.
What about sexual violence? What about sexual violence?
Also. I mean,
This sounds so similar to Great Britain, no? Migrants come in, and what nationality? Where are these migrants coming from?
From all over Africa, mostly from Eritrea and Sudan, but
Are they Muslim?
and Christians,
And
also
Christians.
Orthodox Christians, also from Congo, Nigeria, Ghana, and also from East Europe. We got a lot of Ukrainians, people from Georgia, Ukraine, And from Philippines and Nepal, whatever. I mean,
So this is
whatever,
just a
whatever.
total migrant
Some
neighborhood.
of them are coming by. Some of them are just coming as foreign workers, you know, with
Yep.
permit and stay. Some of them come as tourists and stay, and some of them comes from the borders.
Yeah, let's go speak to these guys. Come on. How can I speak?
By the way, when I was in the army, I was like one of the, we had like rotational. So I was in the border with Egypt, and it wasn't my main job. It was like a week. I don't know why they thought it makes sense to put us there, honestly. Sorry. And that was when the time where a lot of immigrants would try to cross through the Sinai. And it was always a dilemma because on one hand, at that time, like you have the Sudan and Darfur and everything, like real like genocides that are going on there. But when they run away, like when they are refugees, the country that is supposed to accept them is a lot of time Egypt. I'm sorry. Egypt themselves, what they do is that they enslave them and rape them. So they grab all those illegal immigrants and they use them as slaves and as sex slaves. And then when those who some of them wanted to reach Israel, like what they would do is like they would shoot them when I tried to cross the border to Israel. So Israel was like, okay, there's a problem, but the Egyptian army would like if they saw immigrants, they would just kill them. And so it was like a real dilemma because a lot of them were genuine refugees, but Israel was like, okay, we don't have the capacity to deal with all of them. So also one solution that they kind of have now is like having a line where, okay, you can so Sudanese, like genuine refugees, like after being vetted, like I think some of them are allowed to stay, not like those are illegal, but some of them are allowed to stay in Eilat, so in the southern areas, and like help in and work in the tourism industry there. But in general, like that was a problem. And then they had found like so there were a lot of immigrants, illegal immigrants, like refugees. Like honestly, they were refugees because yes, they were supposed to stop in Egypt, but in Egypt they were enslaved and raped. So they did cross to Israel, but Israel, it's like Israel is Jewish state, so it's like, okay, we have to find a solution. So they sent a lot of them to a third country. Fair and square, right? Like dealt with it. But as you can tell, but like those, like no matter what, like you want to feel sorry for them, but in the end of the day, these people are kind of awful. I even volunteered once to see how what they're like. I volunteered in one of the schools that had illegal immigrants in them, and I talked to them. A lot of them were born in Israel. And I remember that like when I like helped them, it was like mean, but I'm not gonna lie, I was young myself, right? So I was basically a teenager myself, so I went there and like helped them study. And all I could think when I was there is like, they're very nice, I like you a lot, but really, can you go back to your countries and make them better instead of staying here, please? Yeah, that was my so that's the only side. Like I was there and I tried to convince them that if they would go back to their countries with the knowledge that they were given and the tools that Israel given them to like, and the education and everything, they could make those countries better. And they were like, no, Israel is my home. And I was like, no, listen, you should really like, I think that you would make a lot of like money if you go back home and build something.
Hello, lads. How are you? Can I ask you some questions? Are you okay? How are you, boys? Where are you from, lads? Which country? Eritrea. How long? Do you mind if I sit down? Can I sit down?
So funny. It's like, do you speak
You're
Hebrew?
from
Do you
Eritrea?
speak Hebrew? And then we're like, what? Can I sit down? Do you speak Hebrew? That's what he answered. Do you speak Hebrew?
Do you mind if I ask how long you've been here?
I don't know, only Hebrew.
Only what?
Only Hebrew.
You speak English?
Just only Hebrew.
No.
Only Hebrew.
You all here? You live here? How long? No one wants to talk, no? No one wants to speak? No one? Okay. You, how long have you been
So
here?
I want to
Are you here
give a
legally?
little bit of a point and explain that those Christians fuckers, I'm sorry for the Christians here, but just to put things in proportion, a lot of them would say something like, actually the Holy Land is supposed to be Christian land, so it doesn't supposed to be Jewish. So us as Christians, right, we have more rights to the land than you Jews do. So so this is why when he asked to a Christian Muslim, it's like, oh, they're all assholes and they all have the same ideology as far as when it comes from to the point of view of a Jewish person, like they all share the same ideology. They all just think that Jews are not supposed to be alive. It doesn't matter if they're Christian or Muslim.
Lads or illegally? Legal? No? Hebrew. I just want to ask them, are they illegally here?
אתם פה חוקי או לא חוקי? לא חוקי. No, illegal.
Illegal. Okay. How long have they been here?
כמה זמן אתם פה?
15-16 שנים.
15, 16 years.
15, 16 years illegally. Okay. There's a lot. What about because there's a lot of accusations that there's a lot of criminality in this area.
הם אומרים שיש הרבה פשע באזור. זה נכון? שיש מלא פשע פה?
איזה פשע?
אין פשע? No.
Do they class themselves as Jewish, as Israeli,
אתם ישראלים?
or
אתם
Eritrean?
נחשבים לעצמכם ישראלים?
So
או...
there is like I say some things, by the way, I'm sorry, Avi doesn't really speak Hebrew. He speaks a little bit of Hebrew. I asked him, when we met, it's like, how's your Hebrew? And he was like, okay, you're an Israeli, like, I'm not gonna lie, it's not good enough, it's just basic. So it's like, so I feel like there are some nuances that weren't translated, but yeah.
לאן לא ישראל? עדיין לא קפלנו תודה, זה לא כולם.
אז מה אתה קורא לעצמך? אתה לא. Not Israeli. They don't have... Yeah.
Not Israeli.
עדיין לא קפלנו תודה, זה לא כולם.
אז מה אתה קורא לעצמך? אתה לא. Not Israeli. They don't have... Yeah.
Like, I wish he would have let
Okay, so
hear what he actually
everyone's
said.
illegal.
Because when he was asked, are you Israeli? He said, we don't have Israeli citizenship. That was the answer. And it was taken as, okay, they don't see themselves as Israeli, which is not exactly the same thing. It's like, it's not that they don't see themselves as Israeli, it's just they don't have Israeli citizenship. So that's how they answered. And when he asked, okay, so what do you see yourself as? We couldn't hear the answer. So that's the thing here that is a little bit lost in translation. It's not that they don't, like, it's not that they would not have seen themselves as Israelis if an opportunity was given to them. It's more like they cannot see themselves as Israeli because they're not, because they weren't recognized as ones. They don't have citizenship and they don't have the right to get citizenship. So, Spooky Shana, I disavow those Christians. I will side with the Jews for Israel. Oh, Shana, thank you.
Okay.
They have a
Okay.
visa to stay here, that's it.
Okay, thank you, guys. Do you see a difference with the way you've been treated? So I guess you're a right-wing activist.
I became. I wasn't.
You've become.
I wasn't.
No,
I
you
wasn't.
wasn't.
I wasn't.
You was on the left.
I was the left. Well,
Okay, you was on the left. You saw the problems, and
they didn't help. I mean, they were against us, and slowly, I left the left. I am considered,
now you consider
a deep right-wing person.
Do you see a difference in the way you've been treated? Because the left continually graffiti, the left continually do
course.
political activism. They
course.
could disruptive activism. Do they get?
Of course, I mean, they were arresting me for nothing.
Do they get put
They
in
were
prison?
arresting me for putting my leg on the road.
You are the female Tommy Robinson.
While the left wings can make fires in the middle of the road. Yeah.
One of the paradox is that all of this business are the Eritrean business and the Sudanese business.
Okay.
They can earn whatever they want.
Cash.
But if
Well, I don't like, here's the thing, like also what he's telling here, it's like, it's completely lost in translation. Like what he's trying to say and what is understood is very different. So I kind of want to skip it. It's like, it's not really like critical, it's just little nuances, right? So Just I don't know. It's just like some things.
And Sudanese, 97%.
97% of the children in this area are Eritrean and Sudanese,
Even
and
the Eritrean,
and not Jewish.
97, no,
Not Jewish.
no, only Ethiopians.
Only
97%, and
I don't think there are any Ethiopians there. Just for the record, there it's not. It's like also him saying no, only Ethiopians. Yeah, I think what he meant to say, like from Africa, if you like the only country that had a significant Jewish population is Ethiopia, but it sounds like Ethiopians kind of live there. They don't, right? There are no Ethiopians there.
And even in this neighborhood, Eritreans don't raise the children. In other neighborhoods, because this is the hardest neighborhood, the most difficult neighborhood and most crime rate.
Like
So-
maybe there are a few Ethiopians, but it's like in general, I don't think that's like what he meant here when he said it. Like,
You have other neighborhoods with 70, with 80% children that are Eritrean, not Israeli children.
So tell me, in 10 years or 15 years' time, how big do these areas of non-Jewish Sudanese, Eritreans, which we just spoke to them, they didn't class themselves as Israeli.
What Jewish is not this neighborhood is not Jewish.
So what happens in 15 years if this carries on?
It will be with the numbers
yeah, it's an interesting.
they produce. It will be in a big problem. Maybe like the Palestinians, they will ask a country of their own. You can tell.
So there's a lot of Jew hatred in the UK that say that the Jews are the ones bringing the
I think at some point they will be just sent somewhere else, honestly.
migrants into the UK to destroy the areas. But here I am standing in Israel, listening to Jews.
I also saw like a post with like a very like cute, like I think like a girl that looked from the Philippines who said, "Listen, like Israel wants me to get deported, but I was born here, and I contribute to the country, and I want to join the IDF, and I see myself as an Israeli." And all the comments are like, and then she asked for support, and then I saw the comments were like on Instagram or something. It was like a couple of weeks ago that I saw that, and all the comments from the Israelis were like, "Oh, you seem really cute and you seem really nice, and it's not like we wouldn't want to have you here, but we see how Europe looks like, so it's nothing personal." Like with all due love and respect, it's just that we just really don't want to be like Europe. So if we can support you in any other way, we would love to. But bye bye, have fun in back home. Oh, Israelis are funny.
So
So my guess is that they would get deported. That's my guess, honestly.
Kind of
I
just.
think the big difference is
So who's bringing them here?
The left.
The left.
The
So
left.
we just say it's
The
a
courts-
it's a
the
left-wing
courts-
problem, not a
come
Jewish
on,
problem.
The courts are for
Justice
them.
system. This
The
is the
justice
big problem.
system is for them. The judges are for them. I mean,
I find it incredible.
the police bring an Eritrean guy with knives, okay, to the judge. And he tells the judge, oh, it's for self-protection. And the judge releases him, okay?
So we're hearing-
But if they bring me on graffiti, they won't release me.
So we're hearing stories of two-tier policing. It sounds mirrored to the UK. The Jewish community in this area feel the same as we feel in many of our towns and cities, where an imported culture of violence has taken over the towns and cities. But the crazy thing I find is we're standing in Israel listening to Jewish people tell us this, when there's an element, there's a little column in the UK or around the world who continually just blame the Jews for this. Yeah, here we are in Israel where the Jewish.
But you know
That's
that
it. But
Well, if they're illegal, how is the left bringing them in? The left is not bringing them in. They walk here. It's like they just walk here, but what they bring them to certain neighborhoods. You know, the left. What they do is just they don't want them in everywhere, so they designate like a dumpsters, neighborhoods that are their dumpsters to throw them in there. So that's what they're bringing. Yeah, the Bedouins also smuggle them. Yeah, there are smugglers that smuggle them.
yeah, here we are hearing exactly the same stories that are mirrored across most Western European nations.
It's only
Yeah.
one Jew.
Yeah,
Soros.
George Soros.
He's an anti-Semite Jew.
Always has been.
It's his problem, not
Yeah, by the way, he does a lot to make sure that the judiciary system would be the way it is. One way that they do that is that they have organizations that sit on every single trial, and then they make sure to publish everything to all the leftist bullshit Western media, so that Israel would be accused of bullshit, and there would be sanctions on whoever needed to be sanctioned by the West, which are more than happy to do that. So yeah, those are assholes. It's one of the way they do that is like so they have like those volunteer organizations, and when somebody gets deported, like if somebody gets deported, they bring their people there to make sure that the whole Western world would be like, oh no, Israel genocide, oh no, this is the evil judge, like make sure he cannot enter Germany and visit Britain and blah 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 blah. So I hope they get the Dracula treatment.
us. You can have him by all means.
I mean, not like the bloodsucking one, just like the shishlik one, the BBQ.
He's not a Jew as far as all of us.
This is for Free Sheffy. So there was a Free Sheffy campaign. So we're mirrored.
Whenever the percentage of Muslims in an area is above 30%, 40%,
This place is dead.
they start to look at the place as there is Dar al-Islam, means the house of
The
Islam.
House of Islam, the House of War. House of
And,
God, House of War.
This
and
is
they look at all the
Mordechai Kedar,
others
by the way, if you guys don't know him.
as invaders because they own the place. And for them, it becomes the homeland.
So let me just again. I'm just going to bring this back to Britain again. For why this is relevant. You have migration. Yeah, you have open border migration from the Sudanese and the Eritreans. 97% of the children in this community are not Jewish, and that is worrying this community. It's exactly the same as us back home, but we're in the state of Israel. It surprised me to find this and find local Jewish activists, the mini Tommy Robinson, who's been arrested, imprisoned, who was on the left until she started seeing these problems in her own community, started speaking out, and then faced a attack by the... And the government have tried to deal with this, but it's gone to the Supreme Court. And again, the corrupt judiciary seemed to prevent the government from kicking a lot of these people out. It's exactly the same. Whether it be Britain, Israel, America, well, not America now under Trump, Trump's solving it, yeah? But I
Well,
saw...
it's not exactly the same because the British government is just as corrupt. The police is just as corrupt. In Israel, it's mostly the judiciary system, you know. It's a lot more isolated. It's not that we don't have like our rottens here and there, but it's mostly just one branch that is rotten that needs to be kind of, I don't know, something. Shana, Israelis are correct, even if it's harsh, and also American colonies was the dumpster for the British. I thought Australia was the dumpster, but thank you.
I saw the leader of El Salvador saying, unless you sort out the court and the judiciary system, then the corrupt judiciary will prevent you from ever dealing with this. I think that's what Israel's faced already.
Has a code, has a camera, has a gate of iron.
Okay, so he's saying that every new building has to have maximum security.
Wyatt Calmer, I read your paper. I read in America, this place is lost. We need direct action. Reform won't work. It's too late. How do you reform cancer? We have to organize for what is coming. It will be great. Yes, so the reason why I really want to also have and address this problem is because I want to politically correct, have an underground facility for people to gather, and because we believe in free speech and because we're gonna teach how to ask questions, these people would come up with great ideas by themselves with how to deal with certain problems. We just need to find those people. And right now, nobody's doing anything to try to find them. And I'm sorry, it's like go out and debate. No, you don't. You're not going to find these people. What you need is the people who can actually think and find those, and actually train people who have potential also to think and ask questions and to understand what's going on around so that they could do stuff. So you can look at that from that direction as well. You know, it's a side effect that could occur if you actually try and infiltrate and find and do a counter cultural movement. So that's another thing. It's another way to look at it, but I don't want to dictate it. I just think that honestly, like it's not even that I'm trying to be politically correct. Honestly, it's more that I think I don't believe in dictating. I think that when people would learn how to think, they would understand themselves what are potentials and what they could do. And right now, people need someone to tell them that, which is also catastrophic. And honestly, Israelis are busy, and we are tired of telling people what needs to be done and how to do stuff because they wouldn't think. So hopefully, if they start thinking, they would understand how to do those things themselves and how to find people that could do those things and think as well. So it's just a side effect, you know. I'm not saying no, I'm just saying. I also don't think it's fair. You have to fight back. You have another choice. Literally, you have no other options. So that's what I think. Shauna, the British Empire had a few different dumpsters. Yeah, they had it's amazing. It means that they had a lot of people that deserve to be dumped. But I'm not sure that America is completely that, honestly.
Because of the criminality rate here.
Of course.
Hello, can I speak to you? You speak English? You're busy. Hello, lads. You speak English? No one? You do. Yes, how are you, bruv?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm all right, man. My name's Tommy.
Tommy, my name is David.
Your name's David?
Yes.
Where are you from, David?
I'm from Sudan.
You're from Sudan?
Yes.
Do you mind how long have you been here, Dave?
17 years.
You've been here 17 years as well?
Yeah.
Illegally?
Yo, I'm a genocide. All right.
Okay, yeah.
All right.
Do you understand? Because I'm just walking this neighbourhood, and I've come from Britain, where we have lots of migration problems, and where British people feel alienated and they feel like their culture's changing because of the level of migration. I'm surprised to come.
In the US, we have the ability, don't worry, people are working. I know you have the ability, but it's rare, and I don't know if it exists in the younger population that much, honestly. I don't know. I'm skeptical. I'm not skeptical. I just think it needs help, okay? Let me reiterate myself. If I didn't believe that it could have and would have and possible, then I don't know if I would have tried to promote what I'm promoting, but I think it is possible. I just think that help is necessary. And yeah, that's what I think, honestly.
Come to Israel and see see a level of immigration here from Sudan and Eritrea.
Yeah, from everywhere.
Everywhere. Do you understand what you...
Asia to Africa to Middle East to Europe, all those here.
My father was a Holocaust survivor.
Okay.
When I asked my father why he came to Israel and not to Australia or America or Canada like his cousins, he told me, I want to raise my children in a country where nobody will call them dirty Jews in the streets. I don't want to tell you how many times they call me dirty Jew.
So you're saying...
In my country, in the homeland of the Jews, there are immigrants, illegal immigrants, that their children are running after me in the streets, throwing stones and calling me by names.
She was the reason I joined this struggle. I saw a video of her, a woman in the age of my grandmother. She was getting beat by a Sudanese woman, young Sudanese woman with a board.
Okay.
This old lady, nice lady.
Do you have that video?
Yes, Sheffy will give you this video. I saw this and I couldn't be silenced anymore, and Jenna joined Sheffy.
Okay, so there was footage online which surprised a lot of people because it showed Eritreans or Sudanese and they were rioting violently in the streets against each other in the state of Israel. So it was just like we see many imported divisions from other cultures and communities. I saw the same in Israel where they were rioting in the streets, full-on riots. How long have you been in Israel?
Wait, man. Slowly.
Sorry. How long have you been in Israel?
In Israel? This is problem for me, not for you. Wait, this question.
Yeah.
But now all people in Israel, you listen?
Yeah.
I don't know problem for you. For me, this you. Okay.
Okay.
I am Muslim. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
It's no problem.
So,
In the Israel, all people in the year, you Muslim,
It
Christian,
reminds me
Yehudi,
there's
this
somebody
no problem.
private.
This problem for you in Allah. You listen? No problem for you, for me.
so what's it like for you in Israel?
What's like to me, yeah, those are so respectful.
The Israelis are so respectful.
Yeah.
So have you felt welcomed in Israel?
I'm working for 17 years.
17 years,
Yeah,
okay.
I do my duty, my job, my entire life being here. I so respect.
How have you found Israel?
Good country.
Good country?
Yeah.
Have you faced any discrimination?
No, I didn't find discrimination. No. Everything's okay. Yeah.
Everything's okay. Because in England we hear that black people would be treated bad in Israel.
I don't think so.
Don't think so. So it's the things we hear, yeah? It's good to go on the ground and speak to migrants who have come here from Sudan now, Eritrea, and now Nigeria. So you'd expect to find illegal migrants, or in these sort of communities, you'd expect to find them and they'd say, oh, it's been terrible. Because if you went to migrants in the UK and you asked them, if you went to Pakistanis who are third generation in the UK and you asked them, they'd say, oh, Britain's a discrimination, it's racist, it's this. You don't hear a word of that. I haven't heard a word of that. I'm speaking to migrants who have been here illegally for 16 years saying, love it, great, welcoming. But they probably do feel welcoming if they're getting privileges and they're getting more benefits than some of the Jews, according to the local Jewish community. So, interesting. And it's always good to get on the ground and speak to people on the ground to understand how they feel. I wonder if we can even find and we hear a lot about, well, Israel's a racist state, it's an apartheid state. That's what we hear. But they don't seem to think so, do they? Do you think we'll find anyone that actually says that? Because last time I was here in 2016, I spoke to every Arab Muslim I could find in the state of Israel, because there's 2 million of them, and they all loved it. They all loved it. So yeah, it's good to get on the ground and understand, and maybe it would be good if some of those anti-Israel activists, or the people who speak out so much about apartheid and about all these problems, actually come to Israel and spoke to people on the ground, see how they feel.
The thing is,
They don't, which is amazing. Don't you think that, how can it be that, could it be that none of the journalists that come from the mainstream media are anywhere near professional that come to Israel? Isn't it amazing how awfully unprofessionally they behave, and that they know nothing, they know absolutely nothing, and they dare speak up? It's amazing. Shana, thank you for your support again. Specifically in the 1710s, a liberal parliament had the brilliant idea to import a bunch of Persians who were in a famine. They sent the access to the colonies. This caused the Brits some problems later. For sure, but thank you.
if we don't understand, all of us, all the Western democracies, that it's exactly the same thing attacking us, we'll never get a solution. So it's very good that you are here, darling, and we love you very much.
That's all right. I'm grateful to hear. Thank you.
Yay. I love it. I love it so much that Tommy Robinson just shows how awful the mainstream media is, because literally everybody in comments is like, oh my God, this is Israel. It's like, yeah, you guys know nothing about Israel. Everybody's talking about Israel all the time, but somehow you manage to not know shit, not know anything about the country, which is incredible. Okay, now I think this is one of the most important videos to watch. This is Amichai Shikli, and he had a talk with Tommy here.
Minister, how do you feel as a minister in Israel? How do you feel about the Labour governments, how they've dealt with the extremism and the support for Hamas in Britain?
The weakest government since Chamberlain, and maybe even worse, despite the fact that the Chamberlain's delusional vision of the reality, peace in our time. Maybe Chamberlain is worse than Keir Starmer, but it is the same mechanism of thinking, that you can appease the monster and maybe buy some time and buy some quiet. And this strategy is driven by the same fear that the terrorist wants to put in your hearts. The Nazis were terrorists themselves, and they terrorized entire Europe, who were afraid to fight. And luckily we had Winston Churchill, who stood almost alone to fight against the Nazis. And we salute Churchill, and we admire Churchill here in Israel. And I personally admire Churchill. He's one of the greatest leaders in all times. And what we are seeing here is quite the same. I think that the strategy of Keir Starmer is driven by fear. He is afraid. He is afraid of the Islamists in Britain. He is afraid from states like maybe Turkey or Qatar. And I think that it is very important to understand this is not about Hamas and Israel. This is about the Muslim Brotherhood, which is a huge global movement. A movement that started after World War I, led by Hassan al-Banna, with a vision to have a huge caliphate led by the Islam, to renew the days of Muhammad, to conquer not just all of the Middle East, okay, not just Israel, but also to conquer Andalus in Spain, obviously, and also.
If it was an interview that was done and conducted by the mainstream media, how many times would they have cut him off by now? I think in that span of like 2 minutes that he'd been talking, they would have cut him off like 10 times or maybe 100 already.
To conquer Britain and to have the Sharia law implemented all across Europe. It was Sheikh Qaradawi as the most important leader. I think every citizen in Britain must understand what is the Muslim Brotherhood. Who is Sheikh Yusuf Qaradawi? What's the role of Qatar? Okay, what's the role of Turkey, of Erdogan in the game, in all this chess? Because this is a global war against a super radical and super sophisticated ideology that its end goal is to make sure Islam is dominant and people are submitted to Sharia law, losing their liberties, losing their way of life. This is a very, very big fight against political Islam, radical Islam, and I think that unfortunately people, they don't read, they don't know who is Hassan al-Banna, they don't know who is Said Qutb, they don't know who is Sheikh Yusuf al-Qaradawi. I'm not sure that even Keir Starmer knows who these people are and what is the ideology. And Hamas is part of this movement. It's not a local movement. Hamas is a part of a global.
Actually, like I wouldn't be surprised that if Keir Starmer is so much of a that he doesn't know what are the names and the people who are in bed with him. I won't be surprised if he is that much of a open-hearted, open-bed person that he wouldn't even know who is sharing his bed with.
Movement. Same movement of Ahmad Ashara, ISIS, Al-Qaeda, Qatar, Erdogan's party, etc.
Well, the Muslim Brotherhood are prescribed in many Arab nations. They're prescribed as a terrorist group.
Yeah? In the UAE,
in the UAE, they're a terrorist organisation. The Muslim Brotherhood don't hide their goals for a world caliphate. They're quite open about their intentions for America, for Britain. Why do you think, when you have a terrorist organisation like that, that's very open about their end objectives and their goals, which is Islamic supremacy and the overthrow of democratic rule, when they're so open about it, why do you think a government like Great Britain's fail to acknowledge, address, or even tackle this group?
They want to prevent the fight. They want to buy time.
Who wants to buy time?
The governments. And I think, when we need to be very honest here, Israel did the same mistake.
I was just about to say
the same mistake.
If you look at Israel's history, Israel tried to appease for many years.
It's true. It's true.
But you now have a government who understands you can't appease.
Absolutely. That is the lesson of October 7th. You cannot prevent the fight against this radical ideology.
Do you think Britain will have to experience its own October 7th before maybe our governments wake up to realise that these terror organisations must be stopped?
I hope not. I really hope you shouldn't but in order to make sure it will never happen, you need all other set of tools to address this challenge, and you need to be far, far more decisive, far, far more aggressive, and to understand that it most likely it won't go smooth and it won't go quietly. But if you won't do it, I'm not sure there's going to be Britain.
Do you feel betrayed by Britain?
Not really. I think it's coming from weakness and not from a point of betrayal.
I hope you understand that Keir Starmer's government don't represent the majority of the British public.
Yeah, I understand it very well. I see the polls. I'm very happy with the polls, actually. And I'm very happy with your work. And I see it also as a conservative leaders. I think it's very important for conservative leaders worldwide. If it's Vox in Spain, if it's Bardella in France, if it's Reform UK or movement, ground movement of streets with millions of people out there who supports your leadership, that is, I think, something which is super, super important to work together and because we are in the same battle.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I think that's like the most like in your face. I think that here's the thing, like the situation in Britain is so bad. This is so bad. Do you know how bad it would have to be so that Israel would be like, you know what, it's so bad that we're just gonna tell the Brits through unconventional like methods that what they're about to face before it's like too late, which is crazy. So there's another couple of videos here that from today, very productive, Tommy, very productive. This is a minute.
I am in Israel, and I have been showed so much
Oh my
love.
God! It's sponsored by the governing party.
My DMs are
And
full of
it's
people
out.
saying, when can they meet me? How can they see me? I am in Tel Aviv Saturday night. Come along and see me. It's my first public appearance in Israel. I'm very grateful to Minister Chikri for inviting me. I'm very, very grateful for the hospitality and the experience that I'm having already. I've only been here, this is my second day. I've met some fabulous people, got some amazing footage, and understanding exactly what these people went through in this wonderful country on October 7th. And the betrayal of my government by recognising the terrorist state. There's a lot I have to say. Come along and listen and let me meet you. Let me shake your hand and greet you on this Saturday in Tel Aviv.
Oh, that's the Tel Aviv event that I cannot go to because of technical reasons. Okay, let's see what's more here. This one. I don't remember what's about.
Minister Chikri.
Hello, how are you?
Shalom.
Oh, this
I'm
is-
very
Oh,
grateful.
Abba.
Thank you. I'm very grateful.
All right,
for the
what are you
invite,
guys
We're
chatting
happy to
about?
have you with us.
I'm honoured to be here.
The Memorial Day is today, and you are now about to meet commanders who were fighting here in Sderot on October the 7th. You're going to see Gaza Strip, you're going to see Beit Hanun, one of the neighborhoods that was one of the strongholds of Hamas in a very strategic location. And we are very happy to have you with us. Thank you for coming.
Thank
We
you.
don't take it for granted. Heavy incidents and fighting from the beach, the base of Zikim, Netiv Asara, the city of Sderot, the junctions, main junctions surrounding Sderot, and obviously more south, and you will be there, the Nova Festival, Be'eri, farther to the south. Now what you're seeing right here is the northern part of Gaza Strip, and you can see how close it is to Sderot. This is nothing, okay? You can just 5 minutes walk and you are already in Gaza. It's very, very close to Sderot.
They get out, the government want to go to peace and told to all the settlement that we need to get out, and the families with the grandfather and the children and the schools and synagogue, we get out from Gush Katif and pray for
Gush Katif
peace.
is the name of all the villages together.
All this
Gush Katif.
around.
So just to understand that, because when I was here last time in 2015-16, I met a Jewish girl whose family for generations had been living there, and then part of a peace agreement between the Israeli government with the Palestinian state.
I love how he roasts Israel and Israelis with the itnatkut, the pulling out of Gaza. Gaza had a Jewish settlement way longer, way before Islam even existed. And the truth is that it was immoral to pull those people out of there. And the assumption that that would prove the world who the Gazans really are, and the moment they start doing bullshit, Israel would be able to go in again, was disproven because the treacherous West made sure that it would be impossible until October 7th. And even then, the treacherous West had shown that they would do whatever it takes to make sure it's impossible. To this day, with Trump, except that Trump doesn't have the same amount of patience. Believe me, he would, doesn't have the same amount of patience. It's different.
Well, the Hamas was that there would be peace if all the Jews left Gaza. So Jews were forcefully removed from Gaza. So when they talk about ethnic cleansing, or you hear all these different things, the Jews were forcibly moved out themselves by their own government in order to bring peace, which they've obviously established doesn't bring peace now.
To be accurate, there wasn't a peace agreement, it was a withdrawal that the government believed it will make the condition better, more security, etc., etc. There was a huge debate, obviously, and many people, including myself, we thought this is a very bad idea, wrong message to withdraw. This is a wrong message for Hamas. Obviously, Muhammad Deif, one of the commanders of Hamas, says, okay, we managed to destroy Netzarim, we managed to destroy Gush Katif, and the next will be Sderot, the next will be Tel Aviv, as it happened on October 7th.
So I spent since October 7th. I live in Kiryat Gat, which is about...
How old are you?
I am 32.
Okay, yeah.
I live in Kiryat Gat, which is about 20-minute drive that way. And on October 7th, obviously, we're also, missiles were falling, rockets were falling. The next day, we all already were ready to go into Gaza and fight. My unit, we were called up. Again,
how long have you been in the military?
This is not, I had my mandatory service aged 18 until 21. I was a commander and officer. I finished the service, and then I lived my life. I married, I have kids, I work for the minister and the government.
Okay.
October 7th, the whole country
has to go back to war.
Put on their uniform, go to the reserves, and we all drafted back to the army. So I was called up, I'm in the unit for the paratroopers. It's called 646. And we were called up after about a month and a half of waiting, because we didn't know if we were going to get sent to Lebanon or to Gaza. We were sent to Gaza City, to the center of Gaza. We spent about, I'll abbreviate, but within 2 years of the war, now we're finishing 2 years, I spent 1 full year fighting. So 360 days in the army now, the past 2 years.
Yeah,
and
that's another thing. A lot of Israelis are need a little bit of a break from all the fighting, though. I don't think we have much of a choice here, you know. I think, was it Thomas Jefferson who nicely said that if you want to be a free person, that you always have to be vigilant and also fight. So there isn't a moment of rest, but freedom is worth it.
Basically, most of the time I was in Gaza, from the middle part of Gaza, which is Mechanot Merkaz, Nuseirat, El Burej, until Bet Hanun, until the end here. And I will say that this last time that we went in, I finished a month ago, my last service.
Just finished.
I just came back to the office, to my regular life.
So you've gone from a paratrooper fighting on the front line
exactly.
to straight back into
to the front line of anti-Semitism, fighting anti-Semitism in the world, which is the same fight. It's one battle, but we have this is one front we have to fight, and we have obviously jihadis like you're fighting also in the UK. At the end of the day, we were here in Bet Hanun. And when we moved from Sajaiya, which is a city a little south, which is part of Gaza City up north, in Sajaiya, I had 2 of my soldiers were injured. One almost was killed, the other lost his eyesight. We moved after about a month up to Bet Hanun. And Bet Hanun, I was sure when I come to the city, that's almost destroyed already, because it's 2 years into the war. And this city is literally the closest city in Gaza Strip to an Israeli city. You have a lot of cities in Gaza that are close to kibbutzim, small communities. This is an Israeli city. 40,000 Israelis live in Sderot. So I thought this place has to be obviously abolished. We see the whole thing is still standing. Hundreds of buildings are standing. We're getting shot at. And we have terrorists coming out of tunnels. We're weekly and daily. Every time we go on an offensive to destroy a tunnel, we get attacked. We get. If it's shooting, if it's
and that was still up until a month ago.
It's right on Arabic. You see Yachini, You see here Sderot.
Okay, so
Ibin.
they had all their targets pre-planned.
Exactly.
They knew
This
where
is
they're
the
coming.
order only of Sderot. And
When you think about it, there's an innocent city sleeping, an innocent city here. And you've got what we now know as thousands and thousands of armed jihadists, a total planned attack from literally there. When you look at how close it is, you're talking about Luton. I'll just think of my hometown, Luton. It's another estate. That's not far. That's not far to know that jihadists, whose article, when you think about it, the article on the manifesto of the elected government of that city, just there that we can see, says the final day of judgment does not come till every Jew is dead. You're not talking about a war that's a million miles away. You're talking about your neighbours who are beyond that field there. And that's what they witnessed.
I love that he says that, and it's clear that nobody is surprised. You know, everybody knows it. Everybody knows it's true. I always like, it's always mysterious to me the way information works in Israel, because if you listen to Israeli media and then if you listen to people while talking, you'll be like, huh. So everybody knows something, and then the Israeli mainstream media would never voice it ever, but everybody knows it if you go out in the street. I was like, there is some alternative way of communication in this country, and I feel like it's word to mouth. I have to feel like it's real life people that meet and talk, which is a very weird concept, I know. Very effective, though. Very effective.
This on October 7th was an entire army coming in to a totally unprepared community who are sitting, living their life.
We have seen
And
the...
do you know the numbers of how many come?
5,000.
There was 5,000.
5,000. Yes, and also you have the instructions coming from Sinewar. There is the document in the right-handing of Sinewar himself, saying we want...
Who's Sinewar?
Sinewar is the head of Hamas, okay, the head of Hamas in Gaza.
Where's he based? Is he based in Qatar?
A year ago exactly, a year ago exactly, he was killed in Rafah by the IDF soldiers, and he was the head of Hamas in Gaza. Now, Sinewar wrote to his people, I want the kibbutzim to be burned. He wrote them, I want everything to be broadcast in order to terrorize. We want to have fear in their heart, put fear in their heart.
Strike fear into the heart of the disbeliever. Yeah. It's a verse within the Quran.
That is a very deep principle of terrorism, of jihadist terrorism, to terrorize the people, to frighten them, and to do it with all these camera, GoPro, etc. That was main part of what happened on October 7th. And you know, when you look at what happened in World War II, and there's a big difference, yeah? But the Nazis, they were ashamed, you know, they wanted to hide their crimes. Here, they wanted to broadcast their crimes live to all the world. That's a significant point.
All right, I think we can wrap up. I think that's it, everything I wanted to show. I really love all the work he's doing, that is showing things in Israel that literally, like, it's impressive. I love that. Down on earth. It's like, it reminds me a lot of the conversation I had with the Dutch journalists in Gaza when I told them that, then they asked me, what do I think about the mainstream media or media in general? I said, like, their noses are up in the air, and like, you have to go down and be like down to earth and think how people, like, how day to day looks like how people live, like the reality on the ground, but like from like a fair perspective, you know, just seeing things like, I don't know. And he does that amazing. And in one day, he had generated more content that shows what Israel is really like, and LD different elements and aspects, and answered so many questions that people were asking for 2 years. And no matter how many times Israel has tried to answer them, it would have gotten ignored. Like, he answered in one day, he managed to answer most of those questions. Here, you can literally see on the ground what is going on and what's happening, which is, which is like, and it's accessible. It's way more accessible than when somebody who is from a different place comes and does it than somebody who is from the place and he's just telling you, because it's like, you know, that's I think it's more accessible to the people. So I love it. Yes, he's a real mensch. I agree 100%. Well, I think I'm gonna wrap up and I'm gonna go get ready to go party. All right, everybody. Good night. See you later.